Hey guys, Happy New Year. Hope you're staying safe, hope your holidays were great and you got to do the things you love while spending time with those you love. Speaking of love, people are not going to love Wonder Woman 1984. I swear to Hera that a good portion of people on this platform especially, are going to fucking hate it. It's only been out a week and they're already saying it makes no logical sense. They're already saying that the plot is silly and dumb. They're already saying that the CG is bad, that it looks like it's from the 80s. They're already saying the characters are cheesy in one note. They're already saying it's cringe. And you know, I honestly agree with some of that. A lot of that. And I understand all of it. It's fine. It's all good, man. There's no point in being mad at someone's emotional response to the art they consumed. That's stupid. But I also can't be mad. I ain't mad at all. I'm the opposite of mad because I kind of thought this movie, Wonder Woman 1984 was kind of wonderful. Now, I'm going to probably spoil a lot of plot details, character fates, all that jazz, so if you don't want to be spoiled, go watch the film. Cool? Cool. Before we get into this, did you know that 2 out of 3 dudes will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time they're 35? That's pretty f***ing scary. But if you want to prevent hair loss, you gotta do something. Do something while you have hair left so you don't wake up looking like Lex Luthor. That's why, lucky for you and those special hair follicles, today's sponsor is Keeps. I don't need a lasso of truth to tell you that Keeps is the best and most affordable way to keep your hair. If you're losing strand after strand, you can't stand alone. Even Professor X can't stop hair loss. Prevention is key and treatment can take up to 4 to 6 months to see results, so you gotta act fast like the damn Flash. Usually you need to go to the doctor for hair loss prescriptions, but Keeps allows you to visit a doctor online for a prescription of the only 2 FDA approved hair loss products on the market. So you don't have to go broke to avoid going bald. I cannot stress enough how important it is to start acting fast as soon as you have signs of hair loss. Take action now and keep your hair today with Keeps. Go to keeps.com/HiTopFilms or click the link in the description to receive 50% off your first order. That's KEEPS.com/HiTopFilms. Thanks. So, most superhero movies are cut from a few different but everlasting and iconic cloths or capes or whatever. The point is, if you're making a superhero flick, you're probably putting your own spin on or at least taking some cues from one of these films. You're either making your Dark Knight that's grounded in reality with a very serious tone that might get you the Oscar nomination. You're making your Avengers with likable characters, snappy dialogue, and a tone that's fun for the whole fucking family. Or you're making your very own Richard Donner's 1978 classic Superman film. You're making a completely ridiculous but entirely sincere genre movie that wears its heart on its sleeve. You're making a movie that is never afraid of being a comic book but embraces the art that comes with that. And to me, that's Wonder Woman 1984, an entirely insane, ridiculous, bloated, poppy camp fest that gets a little lost in a jumbled through spice-in sauce, but always has its focus on one idea. Call it empathy, call it love, call it compassion, call it selflessness, but I call it heroism. Honest human heroism. There is this one line of dialogue, this one interaction that I think sums up why this flick worked for me. It's in the White House towards the end of the second act. Diana Prince is trying to get Maxwell Lord, and Maxwell Lord is trying to get the fuck out. Maxwell Lord has absorbed the power of an ancient magical rock, a rock that grants wishes but at a cost, and now Maxwell Lord has become the ancient magical wishing rock himself, while Barbara Minerva is in the process of becoming the cheetah. So amidst all this insanity, all this lovely craziness, there's this bit that slapped me in the face, made me pause the movie, run downstairs, grab some popcorn, take a piss, eat some popcorn, pull up my phone and write this all down.
No, Steve, you can't use that. It's not their fault.
It's not their fault. Max's enchanted goons are shooting at her, and Diana doesn't harm them. She actually spends the rest of the scene trying to stop Cheetah from hurting them. Diana makes the choice to save the people, not harm the people that are actively shooting at her. And it was in that moment, a moment that plenty of people will overlook or just not even care about. In that moment, after a rocky middle portion filled with magical rock expository nonsense, that I realized this was a superhero movie meant for me. Director Patty Jenkins said this about Diana. She doesn't punch people in the face. That's not the most effective way to stop something from happening. And she doesn't stomp on somebody's chest to get information. She's not that kind of person. And I think that's why so many people gravitated towards her first movie, at a time when so many of us adore the bone-breaking Batman, adore the missile-firing Iron Man. Seeing a Wonder Woman come in and decide not to harm, not to fight, but instead love, hit us like a ton of bricks, hit us harder than an armored fist ever could.
And now I know that only love can truly save the world.
And that focus on love, that focus on empathy that defined the first film, defines my favorite elements of this one. Maxwell Lord, Maxi Boy, Pedro Pascal is having the time of his life. He's not only chewing, but devouring the scenery, inhaling the scenery. That's not going to work for a lot of people, but it works so well for me, and that's not solely because of how much fun it is to watch him have fun. There's some subtlety in his performance, some depth. Max is kind of a deconstruction, a look into what defines the stereotypical business con man like Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor. Hackman's Lex wanted land, real estate, power. That's all we get from him, really, and that's fine. That's enough. A perfect contrast to Superman in a movie that needed to be all about Clark. Pascal's Max wants oil, land, power. But this time, we know why. He's a victim who decides to victimize. He's someone who had this idea of the American dream, that dream of power, and dedicated his life to proving that he's not what the kids at school said he was, that he's not what his father said he was, that he's not what he thinks of himself. We can understand that. We can understand why he is who he is.
Why would I? When it's finally my turn!
I think the best comic book flicks paint in broad but meaningful and personal strokes. You are trying to appeal to literally everyone, satisfy every customer, an impossible task, but you need to make something you love, make something that connects with you first of all. If an artist doesn't love something, truly love it, then why the hell are they making it? And it's so abundantly, profusely clear that Patty Jenkins just loves this character, just loves the comic book she comes from.
So Wonder Woman inspiring bravery and love and the hero inside of everybody is like something that I could get really fired up about. I'm super passionate about it. And you know, it's an honor really to get to do that for any kid or person.
Most of Wonder Woman 1984 is not afraid at all to just be a comic book, and its worst parts are the parts that seem a little timid, a little jaded, a little untrusting of itself. People are going to hate this magic wishing rock. But like, dude, did you hate the radioactive spider? The baby sent from the planet Krypton. Comic books are so fucking dumb, but so goddamn amazing. You're not mad at the wishing rock. You're mad at the fact that the movie doesn't trust you to understand the damn rock when it should. Trust the audience to get behind the damn rock without spending 20 minutes and 20 lines of dialogue explaining and re-explaining the damn rock and the consequences to that damn rock. I'm a simple guy. You tell me there's a damn rock that grants damn wishes, but at a damn price, and I'm goddamn in. That's all I need. That's all we need. If we can buy the lasso of truth, we can buy this. Same goes for how Steve Trevor returns. Don't make The Rock put Steve's soul in the body of some poor schmuck. Just make The Rock bring him back to life. There's no need to waste time explaining it. It's a damn fucking magic fucking rock. Fuck The Rock for a second. The point is, I don't care about how Steve is back. You don't care about how Steve is back. We care about what him being back means. I care about the 10 minutes of Steve and Diana flying. I care about their electric chemistry and love, and it's clear that's what Patty cares about. It's clear that's one of the major reasons people love the first movie. There's no need to waste everyone's time explaining the absurdity. Just let it be absurd.
Patty.
Most everyone's issues, myself included, will come from things like this. Come from a screenplay that feels very rough. That feels like they started shooting the billion-dollar sequel to the billion-dollar beloved smash hit a little too soon. Barbara Minerva, Cheetah. I'm very mixed. I love the camp. I love the callback to Michelle Pfeiffer's Selena Kyle. I love that she wishes to be like Diana, and that's the beginning of her transformation. I love her resentment at a world that has ignored her, catcalled her, made her feel small and scared, and now she is lashing out. What I don't love is what the film says about that. She beats an abuser to a pulp, and we are supposed to take that as a step too far. I understand what they are trying to say, love over hate, compassion over punching, but at the same time, this was definitely not the way to go about it. I do not think this scene should mark her descent into villainy, because Barbara is not a villain. She's a victim like Max. She is someone who is not as noticed as our hero, someone who people walk past as she longs for their recognition. Does that make her a villain? Nah, it makes her like everyone else. else, like all of us. Wanting to be noticed and finally getting that recognition should not take away your empathy and compassion. Barbara clearly has empathy and compassion that vanishes once she gets her wish, and it's lazy, a little messed up, and not fulfilling at all when it turns out that the damn magic rock is behind her internal change. I would much rather have seen her character go on a journey, not have it just wished away. The dialogue is on the nose, some of it feels completely intentional, fitting the sincere cheese fest the movie is going for, but some of it feels a little too strained, like they are worried we won't pick up on who these people are or what the movie is about without them explicitly saying it.
Barbara, my life hasn't been what you probably think it has.
The visual storytelling we get is good enough. From Diana's first scene outside the costume, we know she is alone. We know her friends have died. We know she feels alone. She doesn't need to say it. Same goes for Barbara. Action speaks a lot louder than words, especially in a visual medium. They clearly had a billion ideas of what to do story-wise, a billion things they wanted to say, and then tried to say them all, when they really should have focused on the few ideas that are powerful, that are impactful, and lasting. But hey, I'll take something this forward, this overtly direct, that has heart over something subtle, something concise that lacks any kind of flair or soul. And what I got here was all heart, was all soul. The film grain is cranked up, the colors explode, the lighting is dramatic and stage-like, but the heart and soul steal the show. It's completely confident in that, in itself, and for the most part, does not give a damn if the audience thinks it's dumb or silly. It just is what it is. Unashamed, uncompromising. There are long stretches of this thing with no action, and that's kind of my jam. I know that's weird, but even as a kid, I would sometimes skip the action scenes to get to the moments of drama, the moments where my favorite superheroes felt like real human beings. This is also why I was shoved into a locker. Wonder Woman 84 allows those moments to breathe, allows us to sit with two people, walk with two people without rushing the plot along. We get long takes, we get to hold on the actors' faces, we get to live in the moments without rushing to the next bit of action. Now, the action itself is goofy as hell with over-the-top and insane wire work, which also might not work for some of you. They are ridiculous and a clear callback to the action sequences of Superman 1 and 2, where you have the real actor or stunt actor on wires, sometimes on a set, sometimes in front of a blue screen, doing things no human can do, breaking all the laws of physics. It's insane. Good insane or bad insane, that's up to you, but for me, it was the best kind of insanity. I much prefer this to having my brain completely space out watching CG models in a CG environment with CG armor and CG painted costumes fight gray CG armies of lifeless drones or aliens with particle effects consuming the screen. They just don't do it for me. And it's obvious they don't do it for Patty either. We only get one of those here, like the standard superhero fight with the final cheetah fight. It's gray, murky, underlit, flat, lifeless, and has an entirely CG character that looks like a member of the Animorphs, but at least they get it over with quick.
Then I'm so sorry.
And what really matters here ain't the stunts or aesthetics or insanity or the showmanship. It's the fact that every single one of these action beats in the movie, from start to finish, is about saving people. Every choice Diana Prince makes, from going to dinner with someone who's a little lonely to speaking her truth to the entire world, is all about saving us. I can't think of the last superhero movie that had this many shots of its people, of us. The everyday men and women living, laughing, loving. They are just as much a character as Diana. And that matters, man. That's something filmmakers, viewers, me, you often forget. You can't be a good superhero if you don't protect the viewers, the readers who look up to you. At the beginning of the film, after being way ahead in this Amazonian competition, Diana falls off her horse, but still finds a way to be first to the finish line, not knowing she'll lose. At the end of the film, she once again lets go of Steve. Her heart is crushed, but she still finds a way to keep pushing towards that finish line, knowing fully that she has lost. And from that selflessness, that loss, she can save us by inspiring us, not by fighting us. You know I'm a sucker for when superhero climaxes end with the heroes talking to the villain, appealing to their empathy instead of apathetically punching them. And Wonder Woman 84 goes that extra mile by having the hero, our hero, talk to us. She tells us we have suffered, we have lost, and that we all wish the world was a different place, but we must persevere. and try to come together through love, not hate, and that love can save the world. It's a very optimistic perspective, one that believes that we can all be wonderful, all be heroes, and save the day if we just care for each other. We can all take our loss and learn to fly, soar in the sky, use the weight we bear, look around us and see those burdened by that same weight and use it to rise up instead of letting it push us down. A few weeks back, I got a little tipsy and tweeted this thought. I said, movies aren't about logic and plot. That's why I almost never talk about those things. They are about emotion and feeling. I went to take one shit, came back, and to my surprise, I was being shit on like the class clown that I am. But I meant every word. To me, in my experience of making and watching movies, they are never entirely about the logic. They are never entirely about the plot. Those two things are used to give you a feeling, to evoke a reaction from you. They are needed to support that reaction, to support the characters, but they are not what art is about. Wonder Woman 1984 doesn't focus on plot or logic or realism or anything like that. It focuses on, it cares about supercharging you with earnest emotion, wrapping the lasso of truth around you and making you feel. And not everyone will feel. The messy, insane, and frankly, whack story might get in the way of that. Not everyone will be on the same wavelength, and that's totally cool. But I felt, I chuckled, I smiled, I teared up, I cared. And that can be kinda wonderful. Hey guys, thanks for watching. This year I'm going to try to be the best HiTop I can be. So what the fuck does that mean? Good question. As of now, that means videos on flicks like The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Batman Forever, the Snyder Cut, the Disney Plus shows, Donner's Superman movies, and more. That means a few short films, hopefully 3, probably 1, maybe 5. And I know you guys want to hear my thoughts on other kinds of movies I watch, and considering I watch about too many fucking movies a month, I would love to share those thoughts. That's why I'm going to start live streaming at least once a month. Not sure if it will be on here or on my Twitch, but it's going to happen. I'm also going to start a podcast where I talk about making and watching movies. With who? No idea. When? No idea. So thank you for sticking with me this long. Thank you for the endless support, and truly, have a nice day.